Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
I was just
everything
about to start.
else.
Okay.
Let's do a 50-minute intro.
Quiet. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dallas Hoops Fancast, a podcast for Mavs fans. I'm your host, Sydney. I'm here with my co-host, Martin.
Hey, guys.
Today, we're doing several rounds of Start, Bench, Cut Mavericks edition. So we got a lot of suggestions from Twitter. Thank you for those. I think we should get to all of them. It just depends on how long it takes us for each one. And then I came up with some too that hopefully we can get to.
Okay.
But first, the intro.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is the big moment.
You can follow the show on Twitter at Dallas Hoops Cast. You can follow me on Twitter at _Sydney Myers. Wherever you're listening, please leave a rating or review. That helps the show grow, like chocolate milk and steroids.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But really, it is much appreciated. You can also listen to new episodes on YouTube. Just search Dallas Hoops Fancast for the latest episode. We read all those comments, so let us know how you would do these start, bench, cut lists. Let's get started.
All right.
I figured, just group it all together. It is what it is.
I didn't feel like it was any different
It's an
than
intro.
all the other
Well,
at
at least
ones.
I introduced the episode of what we were going to talk about so that
Well, let's not waste any more
Okay.
time talking about the intro.
So we're going to start with the suggestions that came from Twitter. And to be honest with you, I'm going to start with the hardest one first. This one is from @TylerAdams. And it is, here's a 3. Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, prime Dirk. Actually, we'll just assume that for all of these, everybody is in their prime.
Okay.
So we'll say Luka, Porzingis, Dirk, start, bench, cut.
You want me to go first?
Yes, you go first.
To me, it's easy. Dirk, starts. Luka, bench, Porzingis, cut.
Why?
I mean, it's no disrespect to Kristaps. I don't have a choice. If I could keep him, I'd keep him. But
Yeah.
if I have to cut somebody, Luka would be the one I'd keep over Kristaps right now, just because Kristaps hasn't even played a game with the Mavericks yet.
Is it because you think Luka is better?
I think Luka will
or just 'cause you
ultimately
haven't
be
seen?
better, but yeah, it's mainly because Kristaps hasn't really
Yeah.
officially played a game with the Mavericks yet.
To be honest with you, I think I would do the same thing. To start Dirk, bench Luka, and cut Porzingis. Again, not because I want to cut Porzingis, but just because, like you said, he hasn't played yet. And I think that the dynamic with Luka and Dirk would be better than Dirk and Porzingis. Okay, so that's that one. The second one I wanted to do. Oh yeah, this is the second one I wanted to do. It's from @_CharlesAllen_. So thank you to him. The second one is Sean Bradley, Eric Dampier, and Brendan Haywood. This is like the big three of disappointing Mavs centers. Is there really a win here?
I'm going to start Eric Dampier.
How much are you going to pay him?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to start Eric Dampier. I'm going to bench Sean Bradley. I'm going to cut Brendan Haywood.
Yeah, so to be honest with you,
I mean, people forget Sean Bradley was a quality center. Now, maybe not so much with the Mavericks, but there was a period of time there where he was a quality center.
Sorry, go ahead.
And I know Eric Dampier, I mean, there's not a lot of love for Eric Dampier, but he was a starter for all 5 seasons that he was here and set really good screens.
Yeah, so I think I would be similar. What did you say?
I did Eric Dampier start, Sean Bradley bench, Brendan Haywood cut.
So I would do the same thing because one, Eric Dampier was decent. I mean, he got paid for a reason.
Well, he was here for 5 years.
Yeah.
And, so that means something.
Yeah. Sean Bradley, I think, like you said, Sean Bradley gets a lot of hate for reasons of the dunk and...
Yeah, well, T-Mac destroyed his career.
Pretty much.
Bradley was a quality big for a while. Now, not with the Mavericks, but for a while, he was a quality big.
And I think that's the thing. When you look at his numbers, it makes sense that the Mavericks would want him, that they would want to pay him because he put up big numbers.
Sean Bradley or Eric Dampier?
Sean Bradley. So yeah, I would start Eric Dampier, and bench Sean Bradley. And then Haywood, I mean, it's not that I don't like him. It's just that, I mean, they won a championship with him on the bench, and then they weren't very good when he started.
Yeah, it's mainly if Haywood were a starter and with the Mavericks for longer, then maybe I would select him. But Eric Dampier gets the nod for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, so talking about Sean Bradley, he has seasons where he averaged over 3 blocks a game. And he averaged around like
9 rebounds,
Yeah.
13 points.
Yeah, 8 or so rebounds, 3.5 blocks. Yeah, I mean, so you can see why they would want him. Okay, next one. Oh, this was a clever one. I liked it. It's from @James_Grambo. So these are 3 players that have that were born on the same day. What are the odds?
Whoa.
Okay. So the 3 are JJ Barea, Darren Williams, and Raymond Felton.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to start JJ, bench D Will, and cut Felton.
This is prime. These are all players in their prime. So that
I thought it was just with the Mavericks. Like, I don't want to do, because obviously Darren Williams in his prime would be the starter. So I would think with their time with the Mavericks, what they did with us.
Okay.
So JJ start, D Will bench, Felton cut.
Okay. This is really boring, but I think I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, next time you're going first.
Okay, I'll go first next time. Anyways, yeah, I think I would start Barea, bench Williams. Although, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to start Darren Williams, bench Barea, and cut Felton. Because I think Barea, I don't know if he could handle the minutes of starting.
Okay, I think you're overanalyzing it. I think this is just primarily...
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't think he could handle the minutes. And also, I think he's almost better coming off the bench. And I think Darren Williams, he's a starting caliber big-time player.
Okay, so is this like legit start... Like, I thought it was just who you would have over this person. This person I would have first, then D Will, then...
I guess it's however you want to do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to do it the right way. You can do it that way and overanalyze the minutes that JJ Barea is going to play in this little game.
Okay, so how are you doing it?
I'm doing...
The best player
the best
worst
player.
Okay.
Yeah, to the worst player.
I'm going to do it as starting, benching, and not having at all. And I would start Darren Williams and have Barea coming off the bench.
Thrilling.
Okay, next one. Oh, okay, so this is from Dalton Trigg, who's from the Step Back podcast. He had a list of, like we were talking about earlier, against the Mavs All-Stars. And the list was actually more than just 3 players. So I'm going to try to pick 3 players and then we'll do it with those.
Okay.
So
we'll just go through the list of players. How many of them are there? And what do you mean Mavs All-Stars? These are guys that whenever they played against the Mavericks, they would always have a huge game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, and I think I already took out a couple trying to get the list down, but I got DJ Augustine, TJ Warren, Dennis Schroeder, Marcus Smart, and Gerald Green.
So this is current players.
Yeah.
Not all time. Because one guy that's not on that list, Ramon Sessions,
Oh.
was always a Maverick killer. He would suck all season long, but when he played the Mavs, 30 points.
Okay, so I'm going to do my list. Now that you listed Ramon Sessions, I forgot about him. I'm going to start Ramon Sessions, bench Gerald Green, well, and then basically that would mean cut the other guys that I listed because that's how it goes.
Yeah, man, there's so many. I wish I could remember all of the Maverick killers in the past, but I just remember specifically Ramon Sessions would always kill the Mavericks.
And then there was a point where I think he was available either to sign or for a trade, and I was like, man, I'd like to have
pick him up. Yeah.
And you were like, no, you're forgetting he's not actually good.
Yeah.
He only plays well against the Mavs.
So I'm gonna go with Sessions, and then I'm gonna go with Schroeder. Because Schroeder does seem to have a career game every time against and he hits shots that he doesn't hit all season long. He's like a 20% 3-point shooter, but when he plays the Mavericks, he goes 4 for 4.
Yeah.
And then the last guy, cut and everybody else.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
You know who we might add to this? My theory is Dennis Smith Jr. I've said this before.
Yeah.
I think he's going to become an against the Mavs All-Star.
We'll see. I don't know if he's even good enough for that.
So much shade.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one from @BlakeWeird, which I think is probably the coolest screen name ever. So 3, start, bench, cut. What I wanted was Mavericks enemies. I wanted to do like a Mavs enemies thing.
Ooh, all right. I like this one.
So he had lottery balls, the '07 Warrior, the '07 Warriors, and any Spur from their dynasty.
I mean, there's so many other hates out there. Like D Wade's got to be somewhere.
I have a list too.
Okay,
so
all right.
we'll do that next.
Lottery balls is definitely number one. And it's so, look, we've talked about the lottery in the past, how it's such a scam. The very fact that the Pelicans got the first overall pick.
Or that the Cavs got the first pick with LeBron, or that the Bulls got the first pick with D Rose.
And the Knicks.
The Kyrie pick, all of that.
And then the Mavericks, the year they got Luka, they were projected to get third, but they fell back to fifth. And it's because Kiki Vandeweghe and the Mavericks don't get along, and Kiki Vandeweghe is responsible for the lottery balls.
Oh.
And that's why they didn't jump up in any year.
It's all just chance, you know that.
Yeah, right. It's not. So lottery balls number one. What were the other two?
'07 Warriors and any Spur from their dynasty.
I mean, I can't hate. Yeah, I'm going to hate on the '07 Warriors. The main thing is I respect them for them beating us. But it's the constant soft and trash talking that I didn't like. And, they touched a soft spot when they kept calling the Mavs soft and Dirk soft. I didn't like that. And then I'm going to cut the Spurs. It's just, I got to respect the Spurs. I hate them and respect them at the same time.
Did the Warriors start the whole Mavs are soft thing? Or do you think...
I think that's kind of the beginning of it, yeah, because, well, technically it's probably the '06 finals.
Yeah, but I think... '06 looked, I think it started with '06, but it actually started in '07.
I think it was,
and then people went retrospective.
Yeah, it was probably more '07, just because that Warriors team was a bunch of gangsters. Like, I mean, Steven Jackson was a dog. Matt Barnes was a dog. Monte was coming off their bench. Baron Davis would punch you in the mouth. So they had all those guys, and they just punked the Mavericks. They did. They punked them, and the Mavs shriveled away.
Do you think Dirk was soft in that series?
No. Dirk, if you watch it, Dirk got like quadruple teamed the entire time. There's nobody else. That was one of the series that Jet disappeared. Mm-hmm. Their second best player of that series was probably Devin Harris, and he was okay.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think he was a starter at that time.
Yeah.
And he was quick enough to deal with the athleticism of the Warriors. But yeah, so the Spurs, I'm going to cut them. I respect the Spurs and hate them at the same time.
If we're doing this list as a start, bench, cut for like actually wanting to win a game, then I'm going to start the '07 Warriors. Because I feel like if they have the right mindset, that they probably could have beat anybody that season.
I think you were supposed to go first this time.
Yeah.
Next time you're going first.
Okay.
Because I like to listen to your over-analysis of this.
Okay, so I'm going '07 Warriors because I feel like you could win any game if you start them. And then I'm going to bench any Spur from their dynasty because... Well, I mean, come on, it's a dynasty. Obviously, you want those players on your bench. I mean, can you imagine a team?
I thought, okay, I think you're not thinking about this the right way. This is like the ultimate who you hated the most. Like, isn't that?
I want to win a game.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So I'm like, okay, can you imagine a team with the '07 Warriors and the Spurs dynasty players?
No.
That would be an all-time great team. They would beat anybody.
Yep.
Okay. What, you think I'm overanalyzing?
I think you're over. I don't know if we're on the same page here.
Okay, well, so anyway, I would start them, bench the Spurs, and then cut the lottery balls because they suck.
No. Okay,
so speaking of Mavs enemies, the list that I made was hated former Mavs. Because when I thought of like actual Mavs enemies, the only guy I could think of was Wade. And really nobody even comes close to that. But former players, there were a lot. And so I narrowed it down to 3. So the 3 hated former Mavs are Rajon Rondo, Lamar Odom, and Wesley Matthews. I think Derek Fisher could also be a candidate for that. DeAndre Jordan. Some people have Parsons on there too. But
yeah, that Parsons is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was just, just crap happened, injuries and all that. So, okay, Rajon Rondo, Lamar Odom, and Wesley Matthews. Okay, so you have to start one.
You're going first on this
no
one.
matter how much you hate them, you have to start one. You have to bench the other one, which means he's still on your team. And then, thank God, you get to cut one of them. Gosh, I want to say that I would start. I mean, it's between Rondo and Matthews. I think I would start Matthews, I guess, and bench Rondo and then cut Lamar Odom.
I can't do this one.
Because
I can't, yeah.
As much as I disliked Wesley Matthews as a player, like his player contributions, I mean, he can do things. Like, we were excited when they got him because the way that he could play off the ball was great. And he is a decent player and he's a decent shooter. This is painful to say good, to like defend starting him since I've done the complete opposite on the whole show. Okay, but I would start Wesley Matthews because he can contribute if you use him in the right way. I would bench Rondo just because I have to bench somebody. And I would cut Odom because he didn't do anything anyways. So what does it matter?
Yeah. So I'm going to start Rondo.
Oh.
Only because I think it could have worked had not Rick Carlisle not wanted
Doomed
it to
it
work.
from the beginning.
Like, he didn't want it to work, so
Yeah.
he spoke it into fruition.
Existence.
In existence. And so I think Rondo would have worked, or could have worked at least a little bit better than the way it happened. I'm going to bench Odom only because I hate Matthews so much. I've lost so much sleep. I went for walks after a game to meditate on what was going on. Why are we posting up Wes freaking Matthews?
One of the reasons we started this podcast was Wesley Matthews.
Yes, because we needed to vent our frustration.
We just couldn't hold it in anymore. Yeah, so you can thank Wesley Matthews for this podcast. We should thank him. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, he'll probably endorse us.
Okay, so that was my hated former Mavs. There's two more from Twitter. So here's one from @LD77fan. I think that means Luka Doncic 77 fan.
You're a genius.
I'm reading into it a little bit. Hopefully not too much. So his is Luka Doncic, Jason Terry, and Harrison Barnes.
Well, I'm starting Luka just because
it's Luka.
Yeah, it's Luka, and then bench and Jet because that's his role anyways. I'm cutting Barnes.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, well, yeah. Harrison Barnes was good though.
Yeah, but Jet with the Mavericks was he was much better. I mean,
but that whenever Barnes learned to play off of Luka, he was actually really good.
Yeah, and then they traded him.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Start Luka, bench Jet because he's really good at that anyways, and then cut Barnes. Okay, last one from Twitter from @NickWitsy, which I also think is this. Well, that might actually be the coolest name ever. I think his name is Nick, and then he combines it with Nowitzki, so it's Nickwitsky. You get it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Josh Howard, Sean Marion, Monte Ellis. This is a tough one.
I can't start two of them because they play two different positions.
No. Have you ever played this game?
Man. I'm cutting Josh Howard.
Because of the pot?
No, not because of the pot. No. Man.
Okay, I'm
cutting Monte.
What?
I'm cutting Monte because they only played 2 seasons with the Mavericks, and Josh Howard had a lot more seasons with the Mavs where he was good.
You're picking favorites.
Well, no, I'm picking... Josh Howard had a better career with Dallas than Monte did.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then Sean Marion I'm starting because he was part of the championship team. He was with the Mavericks for a long time, and he's just a starter. So start Sean Marion, bench J-Ho, and cut Monte Magic.
Okay, I would start Josh Howard, bench Monte, and cut Sean Marion.
You're going to cut Sean Marion?
Yeah, I mean, just because as a player, we're talking about like winning games and stuff. No, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously they won a championship with him, but
Well, and his defense?
yeah, his defense and his rebounding. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't want him, but it's just I have to cut somebody. And the stuff that Monte did on a regular basis, and obviously Josh Howard, I just think that makes more sense.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Marion is like, he fills in the gaps, the rebounds and the defense and like a random 3-pointer every now and then. But like the stuff that Josh Howard and Monte Ellis did in terms of scoring and, being a major part of the offense, I think that's more important. And then you can kind of fill in the gaps if you need to.
You are right. And I think even I forget how good Josh Howard was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was 19, 20 points a game. He was the second best Maverick. And a lot of people were saying at the time when he was in his prime and him and Dirk were together, it was like he was the Scottie Pippen to Dirk, essentially, because he was a defender. So you know what? You're right. I think if I could repick, I would pick Josh Howard as a starter and then Sean Marion off the bench and cutting Monte.
You didn't really change it then.
Yeah,
because you're still cutting Monte.
Well, yeah, but I'm switching Josh Howard and Marion.
I guess so.
I forget how good Josh Howard was with the Mavericks, and if he didn't have that pot problem and the ACL issues, then he probably would have spent his entire career here.
I mean, the ACL, well,
there was a period, a time there where we had Josh Howard and Sean Marion on the team, and if they were both
for a little bit
in their prime, that would have been a really dangerous team.
His best season with the Mavericks, he averaged 19.9 points. My gosh, barely under 20. That's got to
But see, for a second leading scorer on the team,
true.
It really helped Dirk.
And he shot 45%.
And he was the starter of the game. Like, not as far as, obviously, he started the games, but the offense went to Josh Howard to start the games. Like, he was averaging like 10 points per game in the first quarter. Because he would just kind of be the guy to initiate everything.
Yeah, that season he averaged almost 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2.2 assists, almost a steal, shot 45%. His last season, I remember when the Mavs traded him, and it was like right after they traded him when he tore his ACL. And it was like, man, that sucks. And then I think he tore his ACL again.
Yeah. Twice. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that, because like when he left the Mavs, his last season with them, well, he averaged 12.5 points.
Well, he had injury problems, though, even his last couple of seasons with Dallas. So.
Okay. So, yeah, I would still do start Josh Howard, bench Monte, and cut Sean Marion. Okay. So those are all the ones from Twitter. I also have lists by position and then some kind of interesting ones. What do you want to do? You want to do the
let's do the by position. We'll see how long that takes.
Okay.
And then
by position. So first, point guards: Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Derek Harper.
I'm gonna start Steve Nash. Now, okay, so this is again the time with Dallas.
Yeah, I guess so. I was originally gonna do just every player in his prime. Or
just their overall careers. Why do
like the best version of each player is what I was gonna do.
I'm gonna do Steve Nash start, Kidd bench, cut D Harp.
That's cold.
I mean, he never made an All-Star game. Steve Nash and Jason Kidd made like 20 combined, so it's no disrespect to Derek Harper. Actually, I think he might have been a 2-time All-Star.
He was not, but he was 2-time All-Defensive team. Yeah.
So I'm taking Kidd and Nash on that one.
Yeah, he played 12 seasons here. Okay, so I would start Kidd, bench Nash, and cut Derek Harper. I'm going to start Kidd because I think his play style, he needs to start. He can run the offense, he can play defense. And then Steve Nash, his scoring ability and just kind of that fast pace, I think he could be like a really, really great sixth man.
See, I'm bringing Kidd off the bench, but he's finishing the game. So I'm going to have Nash and Kidd finish.
Whoa.
So Kidd, because Kidd's the defensive guy, and really Kidd gives the ball to Nash. Like he did with Jet.
Kidd can play off the ball.
Exactly. So,
man, can you imagine
Let's not go down that road.
Kidd and Nash on the same team. Were they ever on the All-Star team together? Or was Kidd in the East that whole time?
Kidd, I think, was in the East at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so next, shooting guards. Rolando Blackman, Michael Finley, Jason Terry.
You go first this time.
Okay, so I would do it as... Oh, man. The hardest part, it's everything. Okay, I'm just going to say start Rolando Blackman, bench Jason Terry, and cut Michael Finley. And the only reason I made the decision between start and bench is because it's so much easier that Terry did come off the bench well, not his whole time here, but the majority of the time here, that I feel like he's good at that role. Yeah, he's fine with that. Role. So it feels less wrong to make him come off the bench. So I'll start Blackman and then cut Michael Finley.
I have the same combination.
Small forwards: Josh Howard, Sean Marion, Mark Aguirre. I already know what I'm going to do.
Okay, go for it.
Wait, hold on. Let me look at Mark Aguirre. I don't know.
Without looking at him, what would you do with him?
Well, I was going to bench him, but now...
Okay. Look at his numbers. He was the best player in the league.
Okay. So I'm going to do it as start Mark Aguirre. Yes.
Dude was a baller.
I can't tell how much of this I'm going to cut out so that I don't look like an idiotic sports girl, and how much I'm going to leave in because I don't feel like
to your
editing.
Defense, Mark Aguirre played before you were born.
True. Well, it's, I don't feel like editing all this stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to start Mark Aguirre, bench Josh Howard, and cut Sean Marion. Basically, same reasons that I gave for the other list.
Yeah, I'll start Mark Aguirre, obviously. Sean Marion bench, cut J-Ho.
What do you have against Josh Howard?
Nothing. It's just...
And
I like Sean Marion's professionalism. I like the fact that he was there every game. I liked his defense, his tenacity, and I like the fact that he didn't have to have a big role in the offense for him to have a huge impact on the game. And I think he's a winning player. Every team he's ever been on, they've won.
Yeah, I think you're overanalyzing it.
Wow.
Okay. Power forwards.
We're taking Dirk out of this, obviously.
Yeah, because obviously that would be too easy.
Yeah.
And then honestly, this is a hard one. I don't even have a thing for this one. So I'm going to do pass on this one, but you do it. Power forwards: Jay Vincent, Roy Tarpley, Sam Perkins.
I'm going to start Dirk and cut the other three. Let's move on to center. Yeah, they don't. Outside of Dirk, they've done nothing. I mean, you can maybe make an argument for Antoine Walker, but he played small forward with Dallas. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Hold on.
No other centers. I mean, no other power forwards.
So when I was looking at the list of Mavericks players, one thing I did was I sorted it by people who had only been on the team for 1 year for one of my other lists. And so many, first of all, out of the 300 and something players, I think almost 200 of them played for only 1 year. And so many of those guys
were power forwards.
Power forwards or centers. They were just constantly looking for that guy to pair with Dirk.
Well, to back up Dirk or to pair with him. Yeah, because you had a lot of guys like Brandon Bass was a power forward, but they played a lot with him and Dirk. Singleton, a lot of people aren't going to know who that is, but he was out there. I don't even remember his first name. James Singleton? I don't know. Brandon Wright was out there a lot. Dwight Capel is... I guess he's going to play center next year.
What was that? Not Van Exel.
Keith Van Horn.
Yeah, Keith
Van Horn out there.
Rafe LaFrance.
Rafe was a center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so centers. We'll do that then.
Okay.
Tyson Chandler, James Donaldson, Sean Bradley.
I'm going to start Tyson Chandler. Tyson. Bench James Donaldson. No, I'm going to start James Donaldson.
What? Are you just yanking my chain?
If we're talking about longevity with the Mavericks, Donaldson. is probably still the Mavericks all-time best center.
Oh, so you don't mean health, you mean like career here.
Yes.
Okay. He played 7 seasons, yeah.
And what were his numbers?
8.8 points, 9.5 rebounds, and
Those were the averages total, or like
and 1.3 blocks. So his best season here, probably 10 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block. That was probably his
then
best
I'm gonna
season.
start Tyson. I just don't know enough about Donaldson, and the thing is, he played a lot of seasons, and the Mavericks had success in the late '80s.
I'm gonna start Tyson and then cut everybody else.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So let's finish up with 2 fun ones, 2 interesting ones. First of all, the what ifs. These are the guys that never reached their potential either mostly because of injuries, but it could have been like anything else. Honestly, it just ended up being injuries. Okay. Roddy B, Chandler Parsons, Caron Butler.
No OJ Mayo on that one?
No, because I mean, his what if was he wasn't actually that good. That was
he was the 3rd overall pick. He was the number 1 high school player in the country.
Yeah, I'm talking about like they played with the Mavs and then you saw this whole big picture and then something happened to where they just never got there.
Yeah, because Caron, you kind of knew what he was. These other 2 guys were kind of like, what are they?
But I mean, like with Caron, so we know he averaged like 20 points a game here, and then he got injured. So like, how long could he have been here? Like, what could he have done in the playoffs if they had him the following year?
Mm-hmm. Maybe they would have repeated.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, you go first.
Okay. So mine. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna start Roddy B.
What?
Bench Caron Butler and cut Chandler Parsons. Because you remember the free Roddy B movement. Like you remember when
I remember clearly. Yeah,
you remember when he scored
40 points against the Warriors,
was
9
that a
threes.
Rookie record?
No.
I think it was a rookie record.
It's not. Brandon Jennings had 55.
Pretty sure it's some kind of record.
Okay, it's not a record. Okay.
It might have been a Mavs record.
Well, that might be true.
It was something.
Move on.
It was some sort of special thing.
Okay.
Anyway, he's dropped like 40. Remember his shot was like silky smooth. I mean, it was just
I remember Roddy B.
to watch. And the way that he would like drive in the lane and he could just get there with ease. He was like I
get it.
Silky.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. So, and then he had injuries, and then maybe his heart wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened.
I think it was more of his will to play.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time he had this and one layup that like
it brought the house down.
It was crazy how ridiculously hard the shot was. And it got and one, and the whole team was like screaming and jumping for joy. And there's Boba with his arms just dangling there, standing straight up,
around,
like face nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, it's middle layup. So okay, I'm gonna start Chandler Parsons. I think Parsons' main issue was injuries. It was not talent. I think Parsons had the talent, and if he was healthy, then he would have been a really impactful player.
Yeah.
Really, Parsons is kind of a lesser version of Luka. Because, Parsons was the point forward. He was the passer. He was the rebounder. He was the scorer. He was a 3-point shooter. And with injuries, he just could never maintain any success. So, Chandler Parsons starting. Caron Butler bench. Cutting Roddy B.
So let me tell you why I cut. Wait, no. Did I cut Caron? No, I cut Parsons.
Yeah.
The reason why I cut Parsons and kept Caron is because, one, I don't know that Parsons and Carlisle ever really got along.
Well, that may have been true, but it didn't take away the fact that Parsons still had the ball. Like Carlisle still gave him the ball. Now Carlisle didn't like his attitude.
Yeah.
He thought he was arrogant, which is funny coming from Carlisle.
And also, so Caron Butler, I think Carlisle really liked him. He was tough-minded, which Carlisle likes. And he was also a very good defender. And so I would love to keep Caron Butler. So that would be my 3. And I know, like, honestly, I should start Caron over Roddy B. But it was just the, like...
one game.
Yeah. And remember the
It was
high hopes that we had and what we saw.
It was
potential.
the idea
Yeah.
of Roddy B.
Was
like
just
he had the chance to be one of the best point guards in the league.
He had
the skill
to be a superstar. Yeah, and he
didn't
had
have the heart.
Yeah, the skill and the flash, and he was just. Don't rush me.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about Roddy Beaubon for 35 minutes of
right
this
now.
40-minute podcast.
Wow. Okay, so that's the fan favorite. No, that's the what ifs. Next, we're doing fan favorites. Is that the one you wanted to do next? Okay, fan favorites. JJ Barea, Eduardo Nahara, and Brad Davis.
Well, I'm going to cut Brad Davis only because he played before I watched the Mavs. So I don't really know anything about him.
I don't feel like that's a good reason.
It is.
It's not.
I'm going to start Joaquin. Jose Juan Barea.
Oh.
I'm going to start Jose Juan Barea. And I'm going to bench Eduardo Nahara. And this is fan favorite, like how the fans viewed them, right? Or is this about their skill as well?
I mean, I've been doing it as like, I want to win a game.
Okay, so JJ start, Brad Davis bench.
Yeah.
Nahara cut.
Okay,
but
and that's
Nahara was getting his name cheered by the Mavs fan. That's how much of a cheered.
It's chanted.
I know. I just
admit when you're wrong.
Oh,
it's not my fault that you're wrong.
So Nahara was getting his name cheer chanted. You're gonna edit all that out, right?
It's September, and I would do the same thing. Do you want to do another one? Let's do another one.
Okay, a good one.
Okay, one season wonders.
Okay.
So these are guys, and in this list, I guess then you have to take.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, we'll just do it the way we've been doing it. So one season wonders: OJ Mayo, Amari Stoudemire, DeAndre Jordan.
Well, DeAndre didn't play a full season.
That's true.
So we might want to get a new one.
I feel like I should have caught that. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, he just got traded. It happened like 2 months ago.
Okay, let's just pretend. Okay.
Let's pretend.
Okay.
We can't think of one more person. We're just going to pretend that DeAndre played a full season with the Mavs.
It's funny because there actually are a lot of players that only played one season.
Go down the list. I'll tell you which ones were good.
Okay. People. Players. Chris Wright, David Wood, Al Wood, Jeff Withy. Let me just think of names that I know. What? Okay, how about Delonte West?
It reminded me that you're in Ocean's 13 where Matt Damon goes to read the letter to the guy and he just stops. You know what? I'm just going to leave this right here.
Okay. I'm literally like there's tears coming out. Okay. How about Delonte West?
That's a good one.
Okay. So we'll replace DeAndre Jordan with Delonte West. So the three are OJ Mayo, Amari Stoudemire, Delonte West.
Okay, well, Stoudemire.
Did he not play a whole season?
He played a whole season, but he didn't actually play.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he never really played.
Well, let me see. Amari Stoudemire played 23 games.
Okay.
So let's take out Stoudemire.
Yeah, let's find somebody else.
Okay. How about? Okay, let's just screw it and say Nick Van Exel. Okay. All right. So let's replace. We'll replace
just start fresh.
No. Okay. We'll replace Stoudemire with Nick Van Exel. DeAndre Jordan is now Delonte West. So the list is now OJ Mayo, Nick Van Exel, who also actually played it was like a season and a half, and Delonte West. Okay.
Start Nick Van Exel. Bench OJ Mayo.
Don't overthink it.
Cut Delonte West.
So, okay. For me, it's hard because OJ Mayo started off the season so well. And
and
then
finished the season so poorly.
I know. It's like once players actually started guarding him, he couldn't do any of that same stuff. So it's like, which version do I get? I don't know. In which case, I think I'll just start Nick Van Exel, bench OJ Mayo, and cut Delonte West. Although, I don't know. Delonte West seemed like a really nice guy. Although, I mean, Mayo's probably a nice guy too. So yeah, I'll stick with that. Start Nick Van Exel, bench OJ Mayo, and cut Delonte West. Okay, great. That was.
Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Okay. But seriously,
Tinder.
those are our. We're not on Tinder. Okay. How would you guys do the start bench cut? You can tweet us on Twitter at DallasHoopsCast or at _Sydney Myers, or leave your comment on YouTube. We read all of those, and so tell us how you would do each one of this. I apologize for all of the mishaps and laughing and stuff. It was a fun episode, though.
Oh, we're keeping that in there.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Don't
Bye.
leave us.
Bye. You know, this could be the episode where you say bye. Huh? No? I'm about to stop it.